Nutrition is such a difficult and confusing field to navigate. It's honestly so crazy how contradictory it can be at times. You have people asking, is it okay to eat bananas every day? What about 5 bananas? Or 10 bananas? And what's the deal with coconut oil? Can I use it to cook, or should I be worried about the saturated fat? Is dairy bad for you? Is soy bad for you? Is meat bad for you? What about the China study? In the midst of all this confusion, I honestly don't blame you if you just give up and decide to order McDonald's instead. I get it. Healthy eating should not be complicated or frustrating at all. Trying to figure out what is a healthy diet for you and you personally should be a positive experience. Now, I'm not a professional by any means. I'm literally just a college student, but I have talked to many a dietitian and had many appointments with different ones to try to figure out what it is that I should be eating. And I've also talked to these dietitians about having a good relationship with food and what healthy eating habits look like. I've done lots of research, watched plenty of what I eat in a day on YouTube, and I figured out a solution to this mystery of a healthy diet. This video is here to help you figure out what constitutes a healthy diet for you and you personally. First, let's get this out of the way. The only thing that all nutritional experts can agree on, and that is an excess amount of sugar is not great for you, and whole foods are generally better for you. And of course, there's many other things that are generally agreed upon, but we won't get into that right now. Those are like the 2 basic principles. So next, let's talk about what actually constitutes a healthy diet, because everyone has a different idea of what it means. First of all, diet is just what you eat. It's not something you're on for a short amount of time to lose weight or look a certain way or anything like that. Diet is how you eat generally all the time. The first thing that you should do is make a list of healthy foods that you enjoy. Include whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, whatever you'd like. Now, keep in mind that this is something that changes throughout your life because your body changes throughout your life. You might get tired of some foods, or maybe something that you used to eat doesn't really work for you anymore, or maybe you figure out a new way of eating that you really enjoy. Another important concept that I really want to drill into your head is that nothing should have a label. Nothing should be healthy or unhealthy, because the truth is any food can be a part of a healthy diet. That means you can have ice cream, you can have soda, you can have key lime cheesecake, all in moderation. All of those things can be a part of a healthy diet because you don't want to deprive yourself and feel like you're missing out on anything. Another thing I want you to keep in mind is that what's healthy is different for everybody because everyone has different bodies and different nutritional needs. For example, for a while I was trying to do an entirely whole foods diet. I was eating tons of kale and vegetables and plant-based proteins like beans and tempeh because I was trying to figure out what to eat, and I was like, well, if whole foods are healthy, then that's what I'll do. I'll eat whole foods. And ultimately I went to a dietitian and I found out that I was probably eating way too much fiber. And when you eat too much fiber, it can cause digestive issues and discomfort. So what I did was I added some processed foods back into my diet, and I chose whole foods that were lower in fiber so that my stomach didn't hate me so much. So ultimately for me, actually eating fewer whole foods was actually better for me. And some people are able to eat a lot of fiber and not have any problems. So it really just depends on the person. Figure out what exactly it is that you should put into your body so that you feel your very best. Third thing, you don't have to put a label on your diet. I know that big buzzwords right now are like paleo and vegan and keto and clean eating. And of course, if this works for you and you genuinely love this way of eating, then keep doing it. But chances are the diet that works the best for you won't fit into one of these convenient little boxes. I also think that there's a lot of misconceptions surrounding these diets. For example, that if you eat clean or if you eat vegan, then you can eat as much as you want and not gain any weight. Or if an influencer that you see on Instagram eats keto and she looks like that and she has a great body, that you should do the same and then it'll have the same results for you. Everyone's bodies are super different, and it could be that no matter how you eat, you still won't look like the girl on Instagram because your body just isn't built to look like that. I also have a problem with the idea of a diet that cuts out an entire macronutrient. Unless you're diabetic, of course, that's a different story, but carbs are not the enemy. They give you energy, and it's perfectly okay to eat carbs. 4. If you're implementing a new healthy way of eating, then I would suggest taking it slowly. For example, start with little substitutions like doing whole wheat bread instead of white bread, or if you're craving something sweet, do a piece of fruit instead of a cookie. If you're trying to drink less soda, try cutting it out first on the weekends, and then 3 days a week and 4 days a week, and so on. If you take baby steps, it won't seem as daunting to make these changes. And also, be kind to yourself. It's okay to not be perfect and make mistakes, especially if it's a habit that you've been holding on to for most of your life. Just remember that persistence is key. 5 is listen to your body. Now first, I just want to address that I am not an advocate of counting calories. It's very time consuming and generally unnecessary, and instead I recommend doing intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is basically paying attention to your hunger cues, eating when you're hungry, and stopping when you're full. It also means paying attention to your cravings because you might be missing some nutrients, paying attention to when you're thirsty and you need to hydrate, and making sure you're aware of when you're having stomach issues or having problems in the bathroom and how that relates to what you've been eating. And also just please make sure you're not depriving yourself. Food is fuel and it gives you energy and nourishes your body. And it can also cause deficiencies of nutrients that your body needs to properly function, which can lead to some pretty serious medical conditions such as osteopenia and osteoporosis. And last but not least, if you're eating well, you might as well incorporate strength training so that you can reap the full benefits of a healthy diet. If you have an A+ diet and you start weightlifting or strength training, you can improve your body composition and get stronger and really make a difference in the way that you look. And I promise, improving your strength is not as intimidating as it sounds. I recommend first looking up compound movements and starting with those. If you really commit to your diet and exercise, then you will definitely get results. And that's all I have. I hope that this has helped you in some way because healthy eating is something that I genuinely believe in, because it honestly makes such a big difference in your life when you have energy and you're properly fueling and you just feel the best that you can feel. And I know that's something we all want for ourselves, but researching nutrition on the internet can honestly be super confusing, and I just wanted to demystify it and break it down and make it easy for everybody. Leave a comment below about your healthy eating journey. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Bye.